through this process, I realized that I was trying to control what my body wanted and fighting it every step of the way in terms of feeding it and how hard I trained. And when I would just take a step back and listen to you, you kind of gave me the encouragement to listen to the science that I had been reading all along. I had your happy voice every day, like, you can do it, believe me, trust it. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this for Jenny. It started off first, right? I'm gonna trust her even though I don't think it's gonna work. And then you get the results and you see that you can take a rest day and things actually get better. You can eat more and you can eat yummy things and things actually get better. And when you realize you've been shooting yourself in the foot for years of your life, that's kind of eye-opening.
Even months ago, years ago, what do you feel like your biggest nutrition struggles were in the beginning before we were working together?
I had struggled with weight. I was a heavy kid. I was heavy in college, after college. So I've struggled with weight for a good part of my life. So a couple years ago, I began paying more attention to what I was eating and exercising more. And it worked, right? And so when something works that you're doing, you keep applying it, but it was so restrictive and so, so demanding on my body, not sustainable, right? It's not a sustainable kind of situation that I put myself in, but I saw the results that I wanted. So in the beginning, I was fearful that if I stepped back from that level of discipline, that I would lose the progress that I had made. And the discipline was like the one thing I'm kind of good at as a type A crazy person, right? I can know that I'm going to work out 6 or 7 days a week and this is what I'm going to eat. And that part is easy for me, is following a plan. So for me, the hard part was peeling back and doing less, planning, less control, more rest. But again, once you see that you're not losing ground and gaining weight and losing performance, you start to trust your body more to tell you what it needs. That's amazing.
Yes, you struggled with fear and uncertainty, and you overcame that through faith and trust and surrendering and listening more to your body versus just following numbers or a plan, because that's what you feel safe with.
Right. That was my safe zone because it had worked somewhat in the past. And to step away from that was scary.
We have taken your carbs to like upwards of 250 grams a day, 225, 250. How were you able to trust by adding more carbs and feeling better with that piece of it?
We started a little lower, so we didn't go up to 250 right away. I had always eaten carbs in the past, like we talked about. I would save them up, other than my fruit and vegetables, which I always ate, but I'd save them up for my ice cream at night. And so I was eating carbs before, and they were justified because I ran, but I wasn't giving myself, the better carbs, the grain and the fuel throughout the day. And so I would feel tired or sluggish or not feeling my body during the day and then eating ice cream at night. I was certainly never a no carb. I feel like I was eating them, not the wrong ones, but not a good healthy mix of fuel for my body at that point. And then I got to the point where I craved the sweets in the ice cream less because I was getting more during the day with breads or grains or yogurt or oatmeal. So that was interesting too, when your sweet tooth that you've had for so long reels itself back a little bit because you're giving yourself maybe what it wanted all along, but in a better, healthier version.
And then you're able to choose those foods when you actually want them and you feel in control, right?
Mhm.
Versus feeling out of control of like, I want this food, but I can't stop. And you were able to add those foods into your life in a realistic way. And then you said too, in the beginning, something that was really important to you is feeling like you can enjoy meals with your family.
Yes. And to set a better sort of example for balanced eating for my children. My kids are 11 and 14. I grew up with probably not the greatest nutritional viewpoint, and then through the years evolved myself into where I was before we started. And I want to teach my kids that carbs aren't bad, they're good, but there's a difference between carbs and sweets, and try to set for them a better balance of healthy eating so that they see I'm not just off, like eating my own meals, doing my own thing. And now I don't feel guilty when we all eat together as a family. I can enjoy it because I know that it fits in and it isn't going to ruin my fitness and my nutrition goals. So it's so much nicer to be able to sit down and eat the family meal that I make for everyone else and actually taste it and enjoy it.
Yes, that's quality of life, right? Being able to do that with your family. And you have navigated through our time working together, vacation in Las Vegas, no less, training for a race that you did fabulous with and actually PR'd, continuing with your workouts and actually feeling stronger, but incorporating more rest at the same time. You've traveled, you've done birthday parties, holidays, like we've overcome so many life situations. How do you feel like you were able to do this program in correlation with moving through those life situations?
It was perfect that I had all of those things come up while we were on the program, right? Because you don't want to end the program and then be faced with challenges that you don't feel equipped for. So it was really good to have gone through those with you. And for me, my whole thing is about letting go more, not more discipline. So having those things come up to test me and my ability to enjoy them and appreciate them. And, it's one day in a week or a month or whatnot. And those are a regular part of life and you work around them and maybe not even work around them, but enjoy them, right? So you can balance the rest of your meals as best as you can within a day. But even if your day, you don't hit that goals, it's one day. And obviously the next day I'm going to wake up as a type A person that follows my rules and jump right back on the horse. So one of those events isn't going to derail me. For me, it was trying to enjoy those events more but also learning that I don't need to eat what people expect me to eat just because I'm at one of those events if it doesn't make me feel good. I don't need to eat 37 wings at the birthday party wing fest if they're not going to make me feel good. It's about setting my own boundaries and eating what I want and what I enjoy, even if I'm in an event where there's potentially peer pressure to eat foods that aren't worth it to me.
Yeah.
That was more of the learning for me was you don't have to eat it just because you're at someone's birthday party. If you don't like it, don't eat it.
Yes. I think it comes down to what you're saying is valuing yourself and respecting your body and thinking about how you want to feel and that basing your choices on that.
Yes.
Versus even calories, right? It's like not even really that. It's like, how do I want to feel tomorrow? How do I want to feel in my workout? How do I want to feel to take on life the next day? And then the biggest piece for you too, that I'm so proud of you for is incorporating more rest and restorative activities. Tell us about how just any changes in mindset and just being able to slow down. Type A personality is like go, 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 do, achieve. And we have a hard time slowing down and resting. So how have you been able to implement that into your life?
My rest days and restorative activities are amazing. I didn't take rest days before out of the fear of, if I take rest days, I'm going to lose performance and gain weight. Early on, when I quickly figured out that that wasn't going to happen and that my performance improved pretty quickly, you see the results pretty quickly. It's like, okay, these rest days are good. And it's nice to be able to sleep in or go for a walk with the kids instead of pounding on my body and beating on my body 7 days a week. That was great. I really started trying to take walks at lunch at work, which is good for my overall mental mindset. It's good for me and everyone if I get a break in the middle of the day to kind of decompress and de-stress from whatever craziness happened in the morning before we go into the afternoon. And so that's a challenge too, because the job that I work in is pretty demanding, and to step away from my desk for 20 minutes or a half an hour at lunch, people will tend to notice that. But that's setting the boundary for myself that I need this for my sanity and my wellness, and I'm going to take it, and you all can wait 15 or 20 minutes or a half an hour for me to come back, and then we can deal with your problem.
You're actually coming back from that in a better place and more productive when we take a break from it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the value of the program was worth the investment?
Absolutely. It's taught me to trust myself, which I can use anywhere else in my life, to trust your gut, to trust your body, and to stop fighting myself. This program was more than just setting numbers to hit, because those would change through my life. It's learning that my body knows what it needs and I can trust it. And so this program is going to impact pretty much the rest of my life from a nutrition standpoint without having to keep going back to nutritionists to redo my numbers, you know, as everything changes, because I know I don't need them if I just listen to myself. It's huge. It was worth every single penny.
Well, thank you so much, Sarah. That was so well said and so relatable. Thank you so much for taking the time to inspire so many other women that struggle with this as well.
Thank you, Jenny.